Hello, my mathematicians. Today we're looking at Module 16, Lesson 2, which is all about multiplying decimals. Hopefully by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to multiply two decimal numbers by applying an understanding of place value. So to spark your learning, it says, Nikki buys items from the bulk bins at the grocery store. The table shows the item, the number of pounds that Nikki buys, and the cost for 1 pound of each item. Sort each item by the cost for the amount that Nikki buys. So here we have less than $1, between $1 and $10, and greater than $10. So if we look at almonds, if we have 1 2/10 times 5 and 89 hundredths, we are going to fall somewhere between the $1 and $10 mark because we know it's going to be at least $5.89 and it's going to be a little bit more than that, but it's not going to be over $10. So trail mix. We have 2 6/10 times 4 and 42 hundredths. Well, we need two of those, so that's going to put us at about $9 and then another 6/10. So that means trail mix is going to end up being greater than $10. White rice, we have 1 6/10 times 89 hundredths, so we're almost doubling that, so it's going to be between $1 and $10. Lentils, 7/10 times 83 hundredths. So we're multiplying 83 hundredths by something less than 1, so it's going to be less than $1. We have walnuts, 1 8/10 times $7.72, so that's going to be greater than $10 because we're going to be almost doubling that. And then red beans, we're doing 5/10 times 1 and 29 hundredths, so we're halving that, so it's going to be less than $1. Okay, so Oliver is making a pasta salad. He needs 2 3/10 ounces of dry pasta for 1 serving. He wants to make 7.5 servings. How much dry pasta does he need? So write the what multiplication expression models this situation? Well, it would be 7 5/10 times 2 3/10. So what is an estimate for the product and how did you find it? Well, we could round 7 5/10 to 8 and 2 3/10 to 2, not to 3. And that would equal 16. So rounded each factor to the nearest whole number. How can finding the product 75 times 23 help you find the product of 7 5/10 times 2 3/10? Well, since the digits are the same, the product 75 times 23 should have the same digits as the product 7 5/10 times 2 3/10. So I can then place the decimal point in the product of 75 times 23. This is what is the product. So we multiply. I'm going to write this just a little bit bigger just because of room. 23 times 75. So 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. Make a 0, place a 0. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 2 is 14. Plus 2 is 16. And I'm going to add 115 plus 1,610. 5 plus 0 is 5. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 6 is 7. And then 1. So then it says, how can you use your estimate to determine the placement of the decimal point? Well, the decimal point should be placed so the whole number product is close to 16. So that means we'd place it after 17, 2,500 ounces. So Marta weighs some dry black beans. Her mother asked her to get 1 and 5/10 times as much. How many pounds of beans should Marta get? To find the product, 1 and 5/10 times 2 and 3600. First find 15 times 236. So we have that here. So 5 times 6 is going to be 30. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Then make a 0, place a 0. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. And then we add. 0 plus 0 is 0. 8 plus 6 is 14. 1 plus 1 plus 3 is 5. And 2 plus 1 is 3. So then it says, complete each equation. So 236, we would multiply by 1/100th to get the 2 and 3600ths. And 15 times 1/10 will give me the 1 and 5/10. So by how many decimal places does 236 differ from 2 and 3600ths? Well, it would be 2 decimal place values. And then by how many decimal places values does 15 differ from 5/10? Well, 1 decimal place value. So the actual product differs from the whole number of product by the total number of decimal place values. By how many decimal place values does 15 and 236 differ from 1 and 5/10 times 2 and 3600? So you have the 1 plus the 2, so that is 3 decimal place values. So that means how many pounds of beans should Marta get? Well, 1, 2, 3. So that's going between there. So we have 3 and 540,000 pounds. That is all that I have for today's lesson. Hopefully you are now able to multiply two decimal numbers together by applying an understanding of place value. And remember, in order to be a math person, all you have to do is be a person and do math.